Hello, good evening and welcome to Old Trafford, our first visit here this season on the JB Sports YouTube channel. We're bringing you live audio commentary as the teams are about to emerge from the tunnel in just a second between Manchester United and Crystal Palace. Just seen in the crowd there with a face mask on or in the director's box. There's no crowd here really today, only commentators, club officials and players alike. Sir Alex Ferguson is here to watch the game. It's a sad sight to see Old Trafford completely empty for this game. But look at how this man is revered at Old Trafford. 26 major trophies, the most successful football manager in history, in English football history. And he's sat in the director's box waiting to enjoy the game as we see Crystal Palace come out in their changed shirts. Should be an absolutely fantastic atmosphere for this one. We'll give you the two teams in just a second. Earlier today we've had two 7-goal thrillers so far in the Premier League. In case you haven't heard or seen them at all, let me recap. Everton 5, West Bromwich Albion 2 in a real thriller at Goodison Park. There was two red cards in that game. One to Slaven Bilic for the West Bromwich Albion manager, but it was before that Kieran Gibbs got sent off for an off-the-ball incident which flattened James Rodriguez to the floor. Slaven Bilic then went onto the pitch at half-time, complained about it, and he got a red card from referee Mike Dean, and a hat-trick of course for Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and also James Rodriguez got a debut goal. And then not far across the Pennines at Emerald Road we saw Leeds United. You may have seen Leeds United beat Fulham 4-3 in a real classic there at Ellen Road. Top flight football returning to Leeds after 16 years, and they didn't disappoint, mind you. Fulham made it very difficult at times for them. 4-3 finished to Leeds in the end. The teams are out here at Old Trafford, and what an atmosphere it promises to be, and what a game it promises to be. And we've got Anthony Martial who starts up front for Manchester United. Now let's have a check on the two teams, shall we then? Starting with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Manchester United, who they line up with, first of all, David De Gea in goal. David De Gea gets the nod in goals for them. And it's a back four tonight of Tim Mensah, Victor Lindelof, Harry Maguire, who's the club captain, and Luke Shaw. Harry Maguire, of course, having a torrid summer, but he's back in action for Manchester United, left out the last England squad. Two holding midfielders in McTominay and Paul Pogba. And then further forward you've got Danny James, Marcus Rashford and Bruno Fernandes, central of those two. And then up front it was always going to be a question who would get the nod, and it's gone to Anthony Martial, the French international striker. So on the bench we've got Henderson, Bailey, Wan-Bissaka, Fred, Van der Beek, who's the new signing at Old Trafford, Mason Greenwood and Higalo. For Crystal Palace, of course, managed by Roy Hodgson, the former England manager. Let's have a look how they are going to line up in just a second or two. It's Vincent Gaeta, the Spanish goalkeeper, in goals for them. And then it's going to be a back four of Joe Ward, Kiati, Mamadou Sakho and Tarek Mitchell, number 27, English born of course, so two Englishmen on either flank. And then it's Townsend, Andros Townsend, James McCarthy, James MacArthur and Jeffrey Schrupp, the former Leicester City player. And then further forward we've got Jordan Ayew and Wilf Saha. On the bench for Crystal Palace, Wayne Hennessy, the goalkeeper, Kelly, Innes, Milivojevic, Maya, Eze, a new signing from QPR, and Michy Batshuayi, who's just signed again from Chelsea for the season. Referee tonight comes from West Yorkshire, that's Martin Atkinson, and that should be and hopefully he'll have a good game. Luke Shaw missed the final 7 games of last season with an ankle injury, so he'll be chomping at the bit to get into the spirit of things here tonight. And Andros Townsend, well, he's got one Premier League assist all season and only had one assist, believe it or not, in the whole of last season, which shows you how much he may well improve as time goes on. The two assistants, incidentally, let's complete the official lineups. Lee Betts and Peter Kirkup are the two linesmen. Fourth officials, Robert Jones. And VAR, John Moss from West Yorkshire, assisted by Mark Perry down at Stockley Park. Russ is on, and hey JB, trying to get my breath back after a brilliant game we saw earlier watching our winner perform. A great victory there for Leeds, and a lot of neutrals will be delighted they won today. Very good game for the neutral, that one. Leeds 4, Fulham 3. Might be considered for first on television later on the highlights programmes. So we're all set to go then at Old Trafford, a very sparsely populated Old Trafford. As we get this, get the game underway. Remember, Crystal Palace have a 100% record. They won earlier on in last week against Southampton 1-0. This is Manchester United's first game of the season. They were due to play Burnley last weekend, and of course the Premier League gave special dispensation, certainly to both Manchester clubs who had played in Europe, and it didn't go down too well with this fella here. I think they should have played last week. But anyway, they're in action this week, and it's Crystal Palace attacking the Stretford end in their changed shirts of white with a bit of maroon and blue stripes on it. And already Martin Atkinson gives the first free kick to Crystal Palace, while there one of the Irish guys, McCarthy I think it was, by Paul Pogba. McCarthy in fact, so a free kick. He only made 13 Premier League starts last season, scored 1 goal and 3 assists. Pogba, I think he'll be hoping to do a little bit better here this season. Will Sahar with the winning goal last week in that 1-0 success for Crystal Palace. Paul Pogba again fouling, that's twice in a minute now. He's fouled 2 opponents, and here come Crystal Palace who got in on that far side and battling the ball, and yet they've won a free kick. That's 3 in the first 75 seconds, and McTominay is the latest man now penalised, and this is Townsend who has been dumped to the ground there. And this is a good positive start from Roy Hodgson's men, a team who have tipped quite conclusively to finish in the bottom 3 at the moment, making a good little start here. And they haven't got a bad record at Old Trafford. They won 2-1 last season, and when you look at the game as a whole, they deserve to win. But Manchester United a little bit frustrated, lack of summer signings. Just Donny van Beek in with these on the bench as that free kick comes in from Townsend from the right hand side, and it comes away once more. Joe Ward takes it up now for Crystal Palace. Back to Sacco, and a good little start this from Palace. Of course, leave your comments in the comment section there, and don't forget, let's not swear, we are a family programme. And yeah, some 7-goal thrillers. So this 2 already 7-goal thrillers, games with great quality. Let's hope that these 2 can put on another quality match. It would certainly make the producers of Match of the Day be scratching their heads if we saw 4 games worth 7 of 7 goals apiece in them. But the way that the Premier League's played at the moment, I think games will get a little bit better even with no crowds, because we won't have those drinks breaks in between halfway through the first half and all that jazz. And of course, let me remind you that this is not the only match that's going to be commented on by JB Sports this weekend. Tomorrow evening, around about 6:30 to 7:15, we'll be on the air in Leicester as Leicester take on Burnley, and Burnley kick off their season at the King Power Stadium, fresh from a penalty shootout success against Sheffield United in midweek in the EFL Cup competition. They go to Millwall in midweek, incidentally Burnley. Manchester United start their quest to win the League Cup next week as well. It's a cracking atmosphere here at it's an eerie atmosphere, I should say. I always say cracking atmosphere. I keep forgetting there's nobody in because of COVID, but there has been 1 or 2 test events down the leagues in the Football League today, which we don't know the results of. There were certainly fans at Middlesbrough, Blackpool, amongst at least 2 of the clubs who were trying out the scheme. It's a bit ironic that Blackpool is doing it because they're the only town in Lancashire not to have a localised lockdown at the moment. But at the moment, no supporters are allowed into any Premier League clubs, although they are pushing the government to get fans in as soon as next month. At some point, October the 1st was the original plan. Well, with 10 million people now on further north of the country on something of a localised lockdown up and down the country, it's very difficult that we'll have a October the 1st time date if there's any fans being allowed into Premier League games, with hopefully to get the crowds back. I think that's would add to the atmosphere a little bit more, that is for sure. But anyway, nothing's been happening for the first 5 minutes. It's Manchester United 0, Crystal Palace 0. Just in case you joined us, we'll be at Leicester City tomorrow evening for that Burnley match. So, and Will Zaha has played under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer before. Appeared in Cardiff City colours back in 2014 when he was at Manchester United, funnily enough. He had a couple of years there and then was sent out on loan and went back to Crystal Palace. Some critics of him said that the move came far too soon in his career, and I think his critics were probably proved a little bit right there, but he certainly played some of his best football in a Crystal Palace shirt. He really didn't have a chance when he was at Old Trafford to really express himself. That's a back kick out from De Gea, and well, I had to watch it because he would have been offside if he touched it. Palace still have possession on the far side. I was tussling for it now, or rather Will Zaha's tussling for it. Well, wouldn't it be an irony here? It was a poor kick out this from David De Gea. In fact, it was Will Zaha who was... Yeah, it was Ayew, sorry, that was... it might have been offside if he had touched it. David De Gea getting away with one there a little bit. Not the most confident of starts from the Manchester United goalkeeper now that Dean Henderson's back from his season-long loan at Sheffield United. He's back in the fold and in the starting lineup or in the substitutes bench tonight. He's one of the substitutes in the chance here for Palace, and they've scored at the back post. What a start for them! It's Townsend. We may have a shock on here, folks. 7 minutes gone. It's Manchester United 0, Crystal Palace 1, and already in the first 6 minutes of the new season for Manchester United, they have been undone. Defensive sloppiness, good run this by Will Zaha, good control, there's the cross, and in comes Andros Townsend to get his first goal of the season. It's Manchester United 0, Crystal Palace 1. We shouldn't be too surprised because they've got a good recent record here. It was actually Jeff Schlupp who got the ball in. And what a fantastic finish into the left-hand corner. And what a moment for Andros Townsend. Well, they've got a good record here at Old Trafford, and they're up to their old tricks again. It's 1-0 to Palace. What a start, and a start that Manchester United would not have wanted. That is for sure. Here's James. Right hand side, Fernandes is in support. Pogba now. Well, this really has to get Manchester United out of their shell and into gear, so to speak. Maguire, who's had a torrid summer in more ways than one. All that fracas, with that fracas, of course, in Greece when he was away on holiday. I've been caught and got a suspended sentence, and as a result, Gareth Southgate had to withdraw from the England games in the Nations League against Iceland and Denmark. Not that he missed him because they kept 2 clean sheets. 1-0 win against Iceland, 0-0 in Copenhagen against Denmark. He's back in the Manchester United fold tonight, but there's already, and if he's had any designs of a clean sheet tonight, well, that's been vanished within 8 minutes. Here's Wan-Bissaka now, formerly at Crystal Palace. Gets it forward again. And what Manchester United won't want to do is panic, but excuse me, that's a little bit of a setback that for Manchester United in the terms of they want to start the season very, very well. And but wait a moment, there's a chance now for Martial. Fernandes is sticking close to him as well. It's out for a throw-in on the far side. 9 minutes gone. And Palace winning by a goal to 0. at Old Trafford. Well, you could hardly credit it at the moment. It really is that. I mean, that's football for you, Manchester United. In a bit of trouble. Joe Ward getting back there as Rashford was going down that far side. He did magnificently well. And then the ball hooked back by the defender. Wan-Bissaka back to David De Gea, who hasn't made the most confident of starts thus far to the game. Of course, later on, JB man of the match in the second half will be up and running. Also, we'll take a 10-minute break for half time. In fact, we might use the half-time break. We might do a 5-minute break and then use the other 10 minutes to run down all the scores of the day from across England and Scotland for you. There's some goings on in the Championship today. There was a bit of a fracas at Swansea for the visit to Birmingham. There was a Birmingham player apparently assaulted by one of the Swansea backroom staff, and there was a sort of a 20-man brawl in the tunnel down there at the Liberty Stadium this afternoon. Not what we want to see in football at the moment with everything that's going on at the moment. But well, he's unbeaten in his last 14. It's United's best run in 3 years, but he's got to think of something quick to get themselves back into it. The good news for Manchester United is that there's only 10 minutes gone, and they've still got the quality to get into the game. But wait a moment, there's a chance here for number 2 for Palace, and again it was that man Townsend with his left foot just hitting it past the right hand upright here. Remember, just to remind you, in case you haven't got a television screen in front of you and you're relying on my description, it's Crystal Palace who are attacking the Stretford end to my left in the first half. This is interesting. Crystal Palace has spent 22% so far of the match inside the United half. Only 6% United have spent in Palace's half, and 72% in the middle of the field. This is actually a very good away performance so far in the opening 11 minutes from Crystal Palace. 1-0 they lead. Clarence, hello to you. Nice to have you with us. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We always like to. And also tell your friends as well, and tell your family and everything else. And we want to get to 1,000 subscribers this season. We have 723. We'd like to get to 1,000 this season. That's our mission statement for subscribers. 1,000 subscribers would be absolutely amazing. But anyway, here's number 21, which is Danny James, who last season scored a magnificent goal in a 4-0 victory over Chelsea. And those days seem a long way off at the moment. 12 minutes gone at Old Trafford. The shock is on at the moment. Here's Wan-Bissaka now, lining one up against his old side, deflecting, and it's a corner. Right footed shot. In fact, it's Funzu Mensah, sorry. And Clarence has already subbed. Well done. Of course, keep your comments clean, everybody. We are a family programme, as you know. Tomorrow we'll be on the air again around about 6:45, 7 o'clock kickoff. Leicester City against Burnley, my club. We're going to be featuring Burnley on their first match. Didn't play last week. They were due, in fact, to play Manchester United. Anyway, here's Bruno Fernandes, corner from the near side into the penalty area. There was a little bit of pushing and shoving. It comes to Bruno Fernandes again. Back his side, and a chance here for James to chip it in there. Goalkeeper decided to stay at home, Guaita. And I think that was a good decision because he left it to his defence and they got it away very well. Maguire's back header, it's not a good one. And De Gea's in all sorts of trouble, and Ayew nearly pounced upon it. David De Gea has not had the best 13.5 minutes of his career. Oh, and it wasn't the greatest of back headers by, I think it was Lindelof, in fact. And the goalkeeper there in all sorts of desperate trouble. In fact, it was Will Saha, in fact, who did the chasing. The Palace numbers are very, very deceiving. Black on maroon just doesn't go. I don't know what the kit makers think of when they're making these kits. Not that I have an opinion on fashion, probably my fashion sense isn't the best, but it's very difficult to identify names and numbers with black on them when you've got maroon as well. Very difficult. This is Will Saha running forward. I'll come to Kane in a minute. Here's Will Saha towards the edge of the area. Ball played out towards Jeffrey Schlupp. Now, what can he do here? The former Leicester City man. Cross wasn't the best. It was his cross, in fact, that led to the goal. This is Shupp again. Has he kept that in play? Yes, he has, but it's gone straight to Manchester United. And it's a throw-in to Manchester United, although I thought it came off a United player last. But there we go. 14.5 minutes gone. 1-0 to Crystal Palace. Ken Hong, is it? Hello to you. And if you haven't subscribed, Ken, can we do a question and answer? Not during commentary, but I will do a Q&A video one evening when I'm not busy, and I'll do it live for you. And that's guaranteed. I live a very busy life and all that away from the commentary box. And remember, I have quite a lot of stuff going on with Trevor Sports as well. If you haven't checked out Trevor Sports' channel, I suggest you go and do that. No, Ken, no, that's not a comment. That's not a football question. You ask football questions. You don't ask questions like that. Please stop, or we will ban the comment section. We've banned it 2 or 3 times before. I suggest you go onto my page and you look at the rules and regs before you comment on here. We have 7 moderators. Can I just remind everybody, if you are new to the channel, just be careful how we speak. We have 8-year-old subscribers, so a comment like that does not go down too well. We've got 7 moderators on at any one time. Myself, Russ, Chris, Trevor, New Caton, who's the youngest subscriber at 11 years old. Think about what you're saying before you do, Ked, okay? And you will be... I hope Russ is keeping an eye on this, and is hopefully we'll take that horrible comment off. It's not nice. We've got young listeners in, and it's not fair for them to have that. Otherwise, we will close the comment section down. It's a football match. I stress it every time as Fernandez is down injured. I must stress. Thank you, Russ. I must stress this every single time to everybody. We are a family show. We have subscribers, young, old, all sorts of different characters. Now, if you want to come on here and comment about the football and do it in the nicest way possible and do it with very good taste, then yeah, that's fine. But if you're going to say things like that, Ken, then you're going to have to be removed from the comments, because it will be people like you that will close the comment section down. And I've done it twice before in the past. Think on. Right, and after that little rant, Bruno Fernandes is up and okay, and thank you, Russ, for that. Don't even try. Look, can we come off the subject? Try, Amanda. Please, please, please. Let's just concentrate on the football. I don't know. You tell me. But it doesn't matter. We're coming here to talk football. Let's talk football anyway. Try, Amanda. You know that. Anyway. Let's just keep the comments clean. I'm not going to explain that. It was we are a family. Look, we are a family program. But stop asking questions on what that person said. Anyway, he's been dealt with by the appropriate people. And if silly comments and swear comments continue, we will take the comment section down. I don't want to do that. Nobody wants to do that. Anyway, Manchester United trail. Well, now let's get back to the game. 18 minutes gone. I spent 4 minutes talking about that, and I didn't want to. Anyway, let's hopefully that doesn't spoil your enjoyment of this commentary. Throw into Crystal Palace, and here's James getting it forward. Maguire's there too, and here's Martial. The ball breaks now to Crystal Palace again. That's a little bit of a theatrical foul there. Pogba's a bit unfortunate. I think Saha made a little bit of a meal of what it needed to be. Let's have a look at it again. I don't know. He had a little bit of him, and I think Saha just sort of faked it slightly. Anyway, it's 1-0 to Palace. If you just joined us, yes, okay. We don't need to talk about that. We are a family show. Please stop. Right. There will be moderate. Sometimes we'll have. Anyway, here comes the free kick. We're here to talk about football, nothing else. And here's a chance for Crystal Palace inside the penalty area, and hooked away once more. And it's Manchester United leading the charge here with James. James through the middle. Martial's further forward. Good play from Martial. Held it up well. James was involved as well. And it's hooked away once more. But here comes McTominay for Manchester United, far side. McTominay doing well. Down with Rashford, who's done some really good political work. But the school kids, as Pogba tries the right footed shot, well held by Vincent Guaita. Good play this from Rashford. Did really well. There's Pogba. Had to get away from one Palace player and then got the right footed shot in. But Vincent Guaita right behind the shot. 20 minutes gone. Still 1-0 to Manchester to Crystal Palace, sorry. Already, yes, okay, enough now, enough. The comments are about football, not about anything else. Russ, just, yeah, thank you, Russ. Can we just stop these? I might have to make another video on this because people are just not listening. Because they just aren't listening anyway. You will be reported as well to YouTube. Just remind you, everybody, that there are 7 moderators who will not tolerate that, as well as myself. Thank you, Russ. Let's get back to some normality and back to the football. The comment sections for the match, or for any of the other games. Just to remind you that we'll bring you a rundown of some of the half-time, some of the scores around England and Scotland at half-time. But at the moment, it's not going well for Manchester United. Remember, Everton won 5-2 at lunchtime against West Brom in an absolute thriller-minute game, and we had a thriller that Russ probably won't tire of me telling him that Leeds won 4-3 in an absolute thriller against Fulham. I had to say that Leeds, attacking-wise, were absolutely first-rate today. Look, a very good side going forward. Just need to improve a little bit defensively, and I think they'll have a very good side, and I don't think there'll be any problems for Leeds staying in the Premier League this season, in my opinion anyway. Here's McTominay for Manchester United inside the area, gets his shot away and just wide at the far post. It's a very good effort that with a right foot from Scott McTominay. Did really well here. Took on the Palace defenders. There's the shot just outside the penalty area, maybe just inside as he struck it right footed just outside the box. And just wide it goes for a goal kick. In fact, it deflected and it was a corner. Yeah, we'll look at new moderators after the match and then we'll take it from there, mate. Okay. But certainly you can be a moderator if you want to, and we'll set that sorted out for you over the weekend, Clarence, so don't worry. Right, and it'll only take me one short click. Right, anyway, back to the game, and it's still 1-0 to Crystal Palace, and they're going through the gears here. Now then, a big chance now if they can play this right. And no foul. McTominay got back there. I think it was Ayew who took the ball forward. Now Bruno Fernandes for Manchester United, still 1-0. And now a good ball again. Now then, a chance here for James. Can he get the cross in from the right hand side? It's a corner off young Mitchell. And Manchester United, after a slow start, are starting to get back into the game. Well, I thought that, Clarence, at the start. I didn't think Palace had a good enough squad. At the moment, I have to say, I don't think they played too badly tonight, but thus far, but it's early days yet. Anyway, here's the corner. Fernandes in from the right hand side, headed forward by Maguire into the penalty area. Martial is drifted out to the left hand side, still has the ball, is trapped by a Palace defender, gets it back out to Maguire, gets it out of his feet. McTominay now just inside the area and can't play the ball to Martial, and it goes out of play and behind for a goal kick to Crystal Palace. Yeah, they won 1-0 last week against Southampton. Many people's favourites to have a very good season. Remember, they had a red hot Danny Ings in form, you may remember, at the back end of the season, and they were beaten 1-0 at Selhurst, and it was Wilf Zaha's goal after 14 minutes that decided the whole game. Are you going to be streaming Manchester City against Wolves? Possibly. I don't know yet. It all depends on the facilities and what I can use. Of course, we share headsets, my brother and I, and things like that. But we'll see. But we're certainly doing Leicester Burnley tomorrow evening. for your listening pleasure. This is Townsend now into the Manchester United penalty area. Townsend gets a shot off left-footed and gets right underneath it, the goal scorer, and hits it about 20 rows back into the Stretford end. Also tomorrow, as well as the live commentary you'll be hearing on this channel. Kick-off incidentally for Leicester Burnley is 7 o'clock. We'll be on the air around about 6:45, around about 10 to 7 tomorrow evening. And then after that we have another, you'll hear my dulcet tones, but on another YouTube channel, Trevor Sports, where me and Trevor will bring you commentary, we'll bring you Cricket 19 coverage of England against Australia in the second T20 International, our take on it, and you'll be able to see that with us on Trevor Sports tomorrow night. And I had an absolute blast recording it with Trevor. It was an absolute joy to do that, and that's the premiere of that. Will start at 9 o'clock after commentary on the game between Leicester and Burnley. So you'll hear my dulcet tones over about 3 or 4 hour period tomorrow evening here on JB Sports and Trevor Sports. Anyway, here's Fosu Mensah into Martial, deep inside Palace territory. Here's Fernandes with the shot deflected, and it deflects kindly into the goalkeeper Quaid's arms. And it still remains 1-0 to Crystal Palace against Manchester United. I have to say that United, after a slow start, when they, are coming back into it a little bit more. Very robust challenge there by James McCarthy there, and then it gets a deflection off number 8 there, Kiate, and McCarthy, in doing that, in trying to take out Martial, has probably done himself more damage. We've got the Palace physio on there. This is a slight concern here for Crystal Palace, who, remember, lead 1-0 if you just joined us. 2019 was when they won. Roy Hodgson. I'm a Burnley fan, funnily enough, Clarence. I'm a Burnley supporter. But I just want to make it clear that I will be objective on my own team tomorrow evening. There may be a little hint of bias, so if there's any Leicester fans listening in, I do apologise. The commentary will be a little bit light, but it will be a little bit towards Burnley. But if they're doing anything wrong, I will berate them. Believe me, I will have a bit of a go at that. But believe you and me, I am sort of one of those impartial types, though. If Burnley haven't played well, Clarence, I will say, and believe you and me, I will. And I'm not afraid to pull punches. That is for sure. So don't you worry about any biasness. Russ's team is Leeds United. If you look at the history of the channel, Clarence, it started out as the JB Claret YouTube channel. If you look back at the channel's history, we're still having 1 or 2 technical issues here at the moment. We're gonna have to just talk some stuff here for a minute or two whilst we get the game back. It's disappointing when this happens, ramblings and all that, but we'll keep going. My channel's full of troopers in this world, that is for sure. So we're just waiting on getting back to the live action in just a second or two. Still 1-0 to Crystal Palace. Nothing's happening as far as the score is concerned. I do keep a check on websites and things like that just to make sure that we don't get a change in the scores. So we always look for that, and if there's any goals that go in, we try to get every goal live as much as we can in our live commentary streams if we possibly can. And we're just having 1 or 2 technical faults at the moment. Just typical at the moment, but we will get this back for you. And the other amazing thing is we can the Burnley game incidentally is on BBC television tomorrow evening, so looking tonight if you will. But at the moment we are trying to get the action back for you, and hopefully we can continue along our merry way here, which could well be a Crystal Palace victory at the moment. We've got to 27 minutes in the game thus far, and it's still 1-0 to Crystal Palace. So you haven't missed a goal you haven't missed anything in terms of goalmouth activity thus far. Sky Goal will be getting it in the neck for that, and now we're back with the action, and it's 1-0 now still to Crystal Palace. If you just rejoined us, also, Clarence, tell your friends and tell your family about us. We're looking for 1,000 subscribers this season. We've got, as well as the Premier League, we've got FA Cup commentaries this season, the League Cup commentaries later on in the season, a little bit later when the competition gets to its latter stages. We've got the Champions League as well coming up, when that really kicks off for real in October with the group phases, and then the European Championships next year. And we'll have new voices. We'll have fresh voices as well. We'll have Russ on a few games, Chris on several games. Trevor from Trevor Sports will do some commentary as well for us. So we've got a pool of great commentary talent waiting to be unleashed on you, the public, as well as myself. But I am lead commentator and channel owner, and at the moment here at Old Trafford it's going against the form bucket, and here goes Crystal Palace again. This is Will Zaha. He's running at Lindelof. He's got pace to burn, this fella, and he did really well there, Lindelof. And our reporter Russ has just broke some news to you that Tottenham Hotspur have announced the signing of Sergio Reguilón from Real Madrid on a 5-year deal, and Gareth Bale on a season-long loan from Real Madrid, as we watch a replay of Will Zaha and Victor Lindelof in competition with each other, which has led to a Crystal Palace corner. And hi Sue, I know you'll listen to the game back, and say hello to our auntie for us, and don't forget, get your auntie to subscribe as well. And I hope Brandy's doing well for you. No, for your little dog. That nice name for a dog. Anyway, Palace have a corner, and the ball's not only half away. Chance here inside the penalty area for Palace, and it's knocked away by Manchester United. Here's Bruno Fernandes to get Martial on his way, and a missed kick again. This time Guaita, and then there's a player gone down holding his face. It might have been Rashford. I just wondered if there was an off-the-ball incident. I'm sure VAR must have spotted it. Rashford's down on the floor and he's got his hands round his face. And then I just wonder if there was a bit of an incident here. It was Joe Ward involved. He's gone to head it. Now, did he mean to hit Rashford here? All started with Vincent Guaita's appalling clearance. It was a flailing arm. Rashford went down there. Ward is a big, strong man. I just wonder if it's just purely accidental and no further action is going to be taken by Mr. Atkinson. Apparently another bit of breaking news from our new friend Clarence. Liverpool have announced the signing of Diego Jota for £45 million again, I think. That's a decent signing. I'm surprised Wolves let him go. He's a class act, Jota. I think hopefully Wolves will reinvest the money and get some top quality players in. Hopefully they can have a decent season again this time round. It's sad to see a couple of their better players go. Sue says, we've hired out the hot tub again. The four of us are having our last spring before the new restrictions are imposed on Tuesday. Sad times, isn't it, when we can't even enjoy ourselves. But we are a sports channel, and we won't get into any. There's no politics or anything silly like that on this channel. Right, anyway, we've got a drop ball situation here. Luke Shaw involved. I just wonder what's going on here. Is it? Yeah, Townsend's going to knock the ball back, and now they're going to play on halfway here for Crystal Palace, who lead 1-0 here with half an hour gone. Take a 5-minute break at half time, remember, and then we'll run down all the earlier scores from across England and of course and Scotland as well. We'll have sort of a 10-minute classified check before the second half of United and Palace here at Old Trafford for you in the second half. Tomorrow, Sue, I hope you can join us as well for live commentary. We've got Leicester City against Burnley, 6:45 we go on the air for a 7 o'clock kickoff at the King Power Stadium. and it should be good fun as well. We'll have the crowd sound effects, we'll have everything to enhance your enjoyment of the game. And the commentary might be a little bit pro Burnley, but don't blame me for that. I am a Burnley fan, but I'm just getting in the excuses before people start berating me for it. Here's Forsu Mensah, McTominay, better from Manchester United. This is Rashford, left hand side of the penalty area. McTominay was on the overlap, may have been better advised to, or Luke Shaw rather was the overlap. Would have been better advised to have used him. Lindelof retrieves the situation under no great pressure. Crystal Palace players back in their own half as far, and here's Lindelof now. All the time in the world to get another attack moving here for Manchester United here at Old Trafford. 1-0. They trail Crystal Palace. It was Andros Townsend's goal that has sparked a bit of a shock on here, and here we go, and it is sad. Anyway, I'm off to have some tea now. I'll play the rest of the game back on Monday. See you around and have a good rest of the game. Thank you very much. Hopefully we'll be able to see you tomorrow evening as well, so, and it'd be lovely if you could tune in, because Burnley are on, and it gets a little bit, it's a bit of a soap opera when I commentate on Burnley and the way things we've been doing. If you've seen some of the rants about the chairman at the moment, Mike Garlick, I suggest you check those out, and I'd like to get everyone's opinion on Burnley's pathetic transfer policy. Manchester United fans are not happy that they just brought the one player in, Van der Beek. They've been pursuing Jadon Sancho all summer. There's been rumours about that as United go forward, but they're not making much headway, but they might do here now with Martial. And here's Shaw now. Shaw with a cross over everyone's head. It's over everybody inside the penalty area from the left hand side. It goes out of play on the right hand side for a throw in to Crystal Palace. There's been rumours about Jadon Sancho agreeing a deal to join Manchester United. I don't know how much of this has been true in the press over the last few months, but that rumour will not go away. Can we play FIFA together? Well, I don't really play FIFA like that. I mean, I just play career mode, and I'm just a casual FIFA player. But what you've also got to admit, what you've got to tell me is that I share the PlayStation 4 with my brother, who's also lives with me, and my brother and I, we share the PlayStation 4, so he usually has it during the week, and I get the PS4 usually at weekends, so it enables us to bring you top quality commentary like this one here that we're churning out tonight. Here's Daniel James, 1-0 to Crystal Palace. Good turn by Forsu Mensah, and that's a poor ball. A chance here again. It was James. It was a half-hearted right-footed shot, no great power in it, and in the end Manchester United will rue that. The flag was up in any case for an offside decision against Forsu Mensah, and that was the initial break. Yeah, he was about maybe 3 or 4 yards offside actually as the ball was initially played. The linesman was astute enough to put the flag up. We're inside the final 10 minutes of the first half here on JB Sports, live Premier League commentary from Old Trafford. And at the moment, it's not going Manchester United's way. Andros Townsend with the goal in the early part of the first half, within a quarter of an hour, has really given Crystal Palace a shot in the arm here. I'll make it 2 wins out of 2, but still very long way to go yet. This is Shaw now for Manchester United. Goes over halfway on the left hand side. Shaw now going forward. Tries to play it into Rashford. Went behind him and it came off a Palace player. McCarthy into the path of Rashford. Rashford is onside. Shaw now gets possession. Now Paul Pogba has it. Shaw was bundled to the ground. McTominay has possession. Fernandes is in support. So too is Forsu Mensah. He's gone from right. Gone to the right hand side now. James takes it up. Now a real opportunity now for the cross, and it's deflected away, and it's a throw in. I've no idea, Clarence. I mean, I'm sure they'll be working hard on it, the likes of Manchester City and Leeds, to get the 2 players that you mentioned there. Also, Clarence, what is your team? We're all friends here. Tell me what sort of team you support, and we'll give it a bit of a shout out as well. Joe Ward is down on his haunches. quite a physical game. Palace having to use the physicality route a little bit. I don't think Tarkowski will go now. I mean, Burnley won't. I think Burnley will want about 50 million for him. I think also going to West Ham would probably be a sideways move considering the turmoil at West Ham at the moment. So I wouldn't think he'll go to West Ham. I think if he's going to go anywhere else, it'll be to a much bigger club than West Ham. I can't, if he went to an Everton or he went to a Manchester United or somewhere like that, then I don't think we could stand in his way. But no, not to West Ham. I mean, I think the bidding money desperation, those people at West Ham, Golden Sullivan and Karen Brady. Meanwhile, at Old Trafford, it's a 3-kick to Manchester United, foul on Bruno Fernandes. There's also another play down in the penalty area, but it was the feeling for the first challenge, I think. On no, was it? Yeah, it was the first challenge. Townsend on Fernandes. Oh, you're a Manchester City supporter, so you want Palace to win then, won't you, Clarence? Manchester United have got a good free kick here. Good free kick position, just central, outside the D, very centrally, probably a touch left of the centre now and then. They're checking. Are they checking a penalty? We need Russ's view on this. There could be a possible penalty. Here we are, a foul there. Now, Russ, you're our VAR man tonight. We haven't seen the sight or sound of Panini in this part. Do you think that's a penalty or not? I think there's two Palace players. Look, there's a tango of legs. I think that's a foul there on Pogba. I think that could be a penalty. Well, VAR being... Well, they're winding up the wall. Well, it could be a bit premature. I don't know. I don't know. There was a tug on the shirt. We saw an incident at least with Bramford earlier on this afternoon, which a penalty was given quite rightly by Mr. Taylor, the referee, that afternoon, in that game. He's got the 3-kick all lined up. Now, wouldn't it be funny if he gave a penalty? But obviously it's got to come to the correct decision. They're still checking it. They've checked it from the same angle, about 23 different angles. And in the end, it comes to the conclusion it's a 3-kick, and it's Fernandes with the 3-kick off the wall and behind for a corner. Is there a way that I can watch the game for free? I don't know. We can't show any action on the channel because we haven't got the visual rights for that. And also the Premier League could shut the channel down with their copyright strikes. And believe me, any channel with good standing like mine would not want a copyright strike. That's why we do audio commentaries. Anyway, here comes the corner into the penalty area where Fernandes will take possession. And here is Shaw into Rashford. Edge of the area. Fernandes, good turn. Referee says get up. Play on, says the referee. And here comes Force Momentum. Martial's just dropped deeper and has carelessly lost possession. Crystal Palace have got themselves a 3-kick. i.e. doing the dirty work further forward, and he takes the ball here midway inside his own half and then just runs about 10 yards and gets his side a free kick and a chance for them just to move forward inch by inch up the field and getting a little bit of breathing space for them at the moment. So 1-0 they lead, coming up towards half time. Here comes the 3-kick then, taken by number 12 Sacco. Another Palace player went down there, but the referee wasn't interested. Fernandes hits the ball forward. Danny James is the furthest man forward, or rather Martial is, and Rashford on towards Martial. Ball hooked away once more. And out for a throw in to Manchester United, is it? No, they've kept it in play. Here's Lindelof. Here's McTominay now for Manchester United, still inside his own half. Shaw has it now. Over the halfway line it goes. Fernandes making the run in behind, but still Manchester United trailing to an early goal from Andros Townsend, his first goal of the season, and at the moment it's going the way of the Eagles from South East London, from Selhurst Park. Here's Paul Pogba inside his own half, gets it over halfway. United starting to ask one or two questions. Shaw has it on the left hand side, and here's Martial. She's taking a little bit of a deeper roll as well, and Shaw again will chase, and I don't think he's kept that in. He hasn't. Goal kick to Crystal Palace with 2 minutes of the first half remaining. Now what our half-time sequence is going to be, folks, once the final whistle goes. 39. We're just looking at Donny van Beek first of all, Dutch international. £39 million for Ajax, and if he gets on tonight, he'll become the 13th Dutchman ever to play for Manchester United. As Ole Gunnar Solskjaer looks on, and over his mouth, no doubt complete frustration with the whole situation. They just haven't really got going, and Palace, I have to say, have defended very doggedly at the moment, and that's a foul there by Townsend and Scotty McTominay, so a free kick. So just to let you know the half-time programme, we're going to have a 5-minute break so I can catch my breath, and then for the final 10 minutes or so, we'll be going through the half-times both north and south of the border, and then second half commentary of Manchester United against Crystal Palace. So we should be with you until about something like 7:30, possibly 8 o'clock. In fact, it might be just something in the region about 7:30 before we leave you tonight, and then we'll be back tomorrow to do it all over again with Leicester City against Burnley, a game you can hear live on the JB Sports YouTube channel. Here's Lindelof now for Manchester United. Into McTominay, back to Lindelof, but again it has to go back to front, and it's back again with goalkeeper De Gea. Manchester United 0, Crystal Palace 1 is the scoreline at the moment in the Premier League, with about 5 seconds of normal time to go. We're going to go to the 45 minutes, and we're going to get confirmation from Mr. Jones, the fourth official. See how longer we're going to have at the moment, and it's going to be 4 added minutes. Don't know where he's got 4 added minutes from, but anyway, here's Paul Sumenta. It's just gone into an onside position. Here's a chance now for a chance here for Fernandes, played in there, but to Paul Sumenta, crossing from the right and then turned away brilliantly by Crystal Palace. And here goes Will Zaha. This man has got pace to burn. He's full of the tricks and full of the skills, and he's actually done quite well to hold it up very fantastically well. And here they come again now. Chance here for Palace. Good shot, and it's just tipped away by De Gea on the breakaway. Ayew with the shot, right footed, and Crystal Palace almost 2 goals clear. It was Zaha's hard work and hustle and bustle through the centre which gave Palace the chance, and Jordan Ayew cut in from the left hand side into the penalty area, right footed shot, just delayed it somewhat, and David De Gea was able to just about read the situation perfectly and hook that one over the crossbar. So a corner kick to Crystal Palace. We've played 1 minute and 23 of the 4, and I should also stress it's a minimum of, as the ball is played in there once more. Ayew will get there, so too will Jeffrey Schlupp. And Palace have looked very good on the breakout. That's the shot from right footed, and wide it goes from, in fact it's Will Zaha. It's the right footed shot that goes into the side netting. Bamford scoring again for Leeds, but it was a tremendous performance from Leeds. And, you have to say Fulham came back into it quite well, but I have reservations about Fulham this season. Lost 2. Leeds off the mark with a fantastic victory. Hard fought. There was a foul there. Advantage played, and now Martin Atkinson's brought it back and has penalised McTominay. Not been Manchester United's day thus far. A little bit of frustration here. This is the break again by Schlupp, and then Will Zaha was checked by McTominay. And we're now halfway through the 4 minutes of time added on at the end of the first half here at Old Trafford. 5:30 kick-off, and it's Crystal Palace who lead at Old Trafford And here's Ayew on the near side, the left hand side, cuts into the byline, into the penalty area. Still has it on the left hand side here. Jordan Ayew does really well. He's got Mitchell in support, number 27. He's taking it into the corner flags there. Paul Pogba getting involved there. It's not often you see Paul Pogba getting involved in some of the physicalities of the game. He's not normally one to put his body in the way of things. But Manchester United get a throw in, but it's level with their own penalty area. On their right hand side, on the near side as we look here at Old Trafford. It's a very poor throw in. And Palace able to get easy possession here. We're inside the final 30 seconds of the 4 added, and then it'll be up to Mr. Atkinson's discretion how much longer he may want to add on. As Schlupp hits a miscued cross intended towards the penalty area, but Will Sahar doing very well there against the defenders as the whistle goes for a Manchester United free kick. A little smile there from Wilfried Zaha, the winner last week against Southampton. Manchester United have possession, but not for much longer. It's Crystal Palace who lead at the break. It's Andros Townsend with the goal on around about the quarter hour mark, which is separating the two teams thus far. They've defended really well, and really there's problems in the offing for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Are the wheels just slightly coming off the bus? I wonder. But Roy Hodgson, no such problems. His team have been well organised, very good defensively, have been very quick and deadly on the counter-attack, and could have had a couple themselves. It's anybody's game at the moment, but at half-time here, it's a bit of a surprise, although it should really be a surprise because Palace won here last year. But at half-time here at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Crystal Palace 1. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break, and then after that break, we'll give you the results from earlier on today with a full classified check, and then the second half of Manchester United Crystal Palace. It's Palace who lead 1-0 at the break. We'll see you in about 5 minutes. Welcome back to Old Trafford, where Manchester United at the moment have been beaten by a goal to nil off Crystal Palace, and Ross Townsend with the goal. Right, now we're back in time for the second half. Let's give you a full classified results, starting with the Premier League. We start with the Premier League. Everton 5, West Bromwich Albion 2, and Leeds United 4, Fulham 3. So let's start. Now we're going to the Championship. Nottingham Forest 0, Cardiff 2, Blackburn 5, Wycombe 0, Brentford 3, Huddersfield 0, Luton 2, Derby County 1, Middlesbrough 1, Bournemouth 1, Norwich 2, Preston 2, Reading 2, Barnsley 0, Rotherham 0, Millwall 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Watford 0, and Swansea 0, Birmingham City 0. And now it's to League One we go. AFC Wimbledon 4, Plymouth 4, Blackpool 2, Swindon 0, Bristol Rovers 0, Ipswich 2, Burton Albion 2, Accrington Stanley 1, Charlton 1, Doncaster 3, Hull 1, Crewe 0, NK Dons 1, Lincoln City 2, Oxford United 0, Sunderland 2, Peterborough 2, Fleetwood 1, Shrewsbury 1, Northampton 2, and Wigan 2, Gillingham 3. Into Skybet League 2 now. Cardiff City 2, Carlisle United 2, Southend United 0, Colchester 2, Bolton 0, Crawley 1, Scunthorpe 0, Exeter 0, Port Vale 2, Forest Green Rovers 2, Bradford City 2, Grimsby 0, Salford 4, Harrogate 2, Walsall 2, Leyton Orient 2, Mansfield 2, Morecambe 0, Cambridge United 5, Newport 2, Barrow 1, Stevenage 3, Oldham 0, and Tranmere 0, Cheltenham Town 3. Now to the Vanarama National League, and there's nothing there from the National League, sorry. So we're going to Scottish Premier League. We're going to the Scottish Premier League. Okay, and it's Celtic 3, Livingston 2, Dundee United 2, St Mirren 1, Kilmarnock 2, Hamilton Academicals 1, St Johnstone 0, Ross County 1. Scottish Championship now, and no games played there, so I don't think there's any Championship or League 1 or League 2 games. So that's about the results from up England and Scotland. Our match is Manchester United 0, Crystal Palace 1. At the goal, I should tell you, was timed at 7 minutes exactly, hence why we have the scoreline as it is now. And I hope we'll get the second half for you live in just a second or two. As we prepare to get this second half underway in just a second or two. And it's been very difficult thus far for Manchester United. Yeah, just to confirm that Gareth Bale is now signing on loan for Tottenham. He does return to Tottenham. There is another match tonight. That's Arsenal. They take on West Ham in a London derby. But our next football, our next live commentary, audio commentaries tomorrow evening at around about 7:15. Be about 24 hours from now actually. We have got, tomorrow evening we've got live coverage of Leicester City against Burnley. And we'll have some Carabao Cup action as well at some point during the week as well, because all the big teams come in as well as the teams come out in time for the second half here at Old Trafford. Remember, it's 1-0 if you just joined us. Don't forget, you can now start commenting in the comment section to my right, but please, for whatever you do, just keep your comments clean. We had one or two people that didn't follow the rules in the first half, and we hope that you are enjoying our commentary as well of the game, as Roy Hodgson comes out just in time for the second half. We've seen a nice overhead shot of Old Trafford here, which is quite nice. The only downside is it's full of, the seats are covered by lots of banners and things like that, and we're going to see the introduction of Mason Greenwood as a half-time substitute, and he will replace Danny James, who was quite frankly poor in the first half. I don't think it was one of Solskjaer's better signings, if I'm being honest. I don't think James is good enough at that particular level, but better the devil you know. But Mason Greenwood called up to the England side, and it's part of that scandal involving him and Phil Foden, as well as they got sent home for several misdemeanors. But away we go now in the second half. Manchester United attacking their favourite Stretford end. To our right, to our left, sorry, very sparsely populated, I've got to tell you. Well, here's about 150 people. That's players, commentators, broadcasters, newspaper journalists, and photographers and cameramen, and that's all there is. Anyway, let's just remind you of the teams. De Gea in goal, Porto, Menza, Lindelof, Maguire and Shaw across the back, Pogba and McTominay, and then that one change, Greenwood on for Danny James, Fernandes and Rashford, and Martial keeping his place up front. For Crystal Palace, it's Vincent Koité in goal, back four, Ward, Kiate, Sacco and Mitchell, and then a midfield 3-4 of Townsend, McCarthy and Schlupp, Jordan Ayew and Wilfred Zaha up front, and it's 7th minute, the goal was scored. The ball hooked in at the far post by Andros Townsend after a good cross from the left hand side by Jeffrey Schlupp. That goal came incidentally at the Stretford end as well, but a long way to go in this game. Referee, just to remind you, Martin Atkinson from West Yorkshire. Substitutes Henderson, Bailey, Fred, Ingalo, Wan-Bissaka and Van der Beek. For Palace, who have yet to use a substitution thus far, Hennessy the goalkeeper, Milivojevic, Maya, Batshuayi, Ize, the new signing they got for QPR, £23 million worth, Martin Kelly and Innis. As the ball is threaded out towards number 23 here, Luke Shaw on the left hand side, playing in there towards Rashford. Again, good stout defending again, this time from Ward. Studies ground very, very well, and Palace gain a few yards, and the bedraggled Manchester United Vice Chairman Ed Woodward, who's at the centre of a lot of fury around the club's supporters. He certainly was a victim of an hate campaign during last season in a 2-0 defeat for Burnley, where there were several death threats made towards him, which I found quite disturbing. And it wasn't called for, really. There has been some frustration since Alex Ferguson's left about the club's ambition and where it wants to go. But at the moment, we've just lost. Tell me one or two problems at the moment with one or two issues again. Hopefully, we'll have those gremlins killed and we can get back on again. Spurs, we can get back to what we're doing best. Hopefully we won't have any problems tomorrow evening, because we'll because we'll have aid of BBC as well. The Burnley game is going to be televised on terrestrial television, on BBC television. But here goes Crystal Palace, and again, good break this from, I think it's higher there with a shot, and it was a good shot as well, right footed, straight down the throat of David De Gea. Good breakout from Crystal Palace, but they look good on the break. Crystal Palace, Will Saar into his path, and Townsend as well involved. Right footed shot, but De Gea was astute enough to get behind the shot. Manchester United still trail by a goal to nil. McTominay to Tim Forton-Mensah, and Forton-Mensah again has it right hand side. Real opportunity here for Manchester United. Keep your comments coming in about the football and about this game. If you want to rejoice, any Leeds fans, I know Russ will be rejoicing. 4-3 they won today in a very good match, as the ball is spread out towards Shaw, and he goes past Townsend. Shaw from the left hand side, the cross coming in, turned away by McCarthy, I think, and Manchester United just having difficulty to bring that under control, and now they've lost it to Andros Townsend, who scored the only goal of the match thus far. A penny for Mr. Solskjaer's thoughts at the moment. I'm sure he would have given a very good half-time team talk. It has been a very disappointing performance. They does have Donny van der Beek on the substitutes for her bench, and all substitutes should point out are socially distancing, so they're not actually, strictly speaking, on the bench. They are sat in the stands, socially distanced, of course. But at the moment it's not going Manchester United's way at the moment, trailing to Crystal Palace. 7th minute goal from Andros Townsend. It's given Manchester United food for thought. They finished third last season, United. Here with a 14 match unbeaten run. This is Rashford now into the deep inside the Palace half. Pogba gets it now, comes bundles towards the penalty area. Shot comes in from about 25 yards, left footed, and it's straight into the arms of Vincent Gaeta. 5 minutes into the second half. This is better for Manchester United. They still trail Palace, however, by 1-0. As we just see that Pogba shot there, goalkeeper diving away to his left hand side. Gabbard in no problem. Only 1 goal in 13 Premier League starts last season for the Frenchman. £89 million he cost a few years ago from Juventus. There has been murmurs that he might want to return to the Juventus Stadium in the very near future, as Crystal Palace come forward again, and it was a shot that got a deflection. It's kept in play there by Townsend. He's kept the move alive. Cross comes into the penalty area. This is better from Crystal Palace. Still leading by a goal to nil. If you joined us late, we haven't heard from Trevor as yet, and we've got an injury from Forton-Mensah as well. Of course, the supplementary version of Match Today, Trevor Sports, is on every Thursday at 8 o'clock, so make a date with Trevor Sports on a Thursday night for Match of the Day. Tomorrow it's actually a double, because not only have we got activity on this channel, we'll have some cricketing activity on Trevor's YouTube channel, Trevor Sports, in the form of Trevor Match Special. So after commentary from Leicester against Burnley, live here at the King Power tomorrow on this channel, tune over to Trevor's YouTube channel, where you'll hear my dulcet tones again on an England 2020 game. We've got England against Australia. The game was played at Old Trafford, and I should tell you, pre-warn you, you will be intrigued with it from start to finish. It's from the Cricket 19 game, and I tell you, it's a very good watch, I tell you. And mine and Trevor's commentary, we do it as a duo, and we absolutely had a blinding time recording the commentary from start to finish. We did it live from start to finish, and a lot of people said we had a lot of good chemistry, so it's good to see that me and Trevor have a bit of a cricketing commentary duo. We are sort of the rock and rollers of cricket commentators, but it's football we're concentrating on tonight. But don't forget to check that out after the Leicester Burnley match tomorrow evening. It'll cheer everybody up, I think. Meanwhile, Manchester United have conceded a 3 kick. Martin Atkinson's done okay, the referee. Not had too much to do. So Palace free kick far side, about 15 yards inside the United half. Sacco is going to take it, flobs it in there, and Shrub takes possession. It's good football this from Will Sahar as well, breaking into the penalty area. Chance here for Ayer inside the area, come get it out from under his feet. Still a chance for Palace, and it's shot over the top. Andros Townsend again. This time on the left foot. It was good work this actually from Wilfred Sahar, breaking into the penalty box. Ball couldn't reach Ayew, and then Townsend had the final effort, which goes into the stand and behind for the goal kick. So it still remains 1-0. In fact, I think it might have given a corner actually. Took a slight deflection, so it is a corner in fact to Crystal Palace. Still lead this game by a goal to nil here at Old Trafford. Premier League commentary. When it goes from the far side, and it's hooked away once more. And still Manchester United looking for this equaliser. A little bit of a wrestling match going on in the centre circle involving Mason Greenwood and Joe Ward. And Mason Greenwood getting the decision there, and Joe Ward is the first man, I think, to my knowledge, that's gone into the referee's notepad. It was 6-1, half a dozen the other. It was definitely a foul by Ward. I know Greenwood's doing a little bit of pushing and shoving, but Ward is not one that. Joe Ward is certainly one player that never takes any prisoners in, even in a meaty physical challenge. This is Rashford now on the left hand side for Manchester United, still needing a goal to get themselves back in with a shout of a point. It would be a very bad start to the season if we were to lose at Old Trafford on opening day. And here goes Wilfred Sahar. That's the man we know and love. Pace to burn. He's inside the area. Wilfred Sahar. Oh, the angle just died on him a little bit there. Pulls the ball back. Still a chance here for Palace. And now they've had to drift out to the far side. Still might have a chance, and it's gone right across the face of the goal, and it's cleared away by Manchester United in the form of Marcus Rashford. And now Shaw should complete the clearance for Manchester United. Still 1-0 to Crystal Palace. They won 2-1 in August last year, and it was a real cat amongst the pigeons job there at Old Trafford. And it's not the first time I commentated on these two teams. Last couple of years ago we commentated on a 3-2 thriller for Manchester United. Nemanja Matic scoring the pick of the goals when Palace went 2 up and seemingly running away with it. And then Manchester United came back, I think when Mourinho was in charge then, and won 3-2. It was an absolute classic and a very enjoyable game as well. This is Maguire now for Manchester United. Had the best of summers, of course, for obvious reasons. Still, United looking for this equaliser. McTominay has it on halfway line. Now goes into the Palace half. He picks out Rashford on the left hand side. Shaw's on the overlap. Infield to Pogba. It's deep inside Crystal Palace's territory. United knocking on the door but can't find a way through. Rashford towards Martial, and then Martial is bundled to the ground off the ball. There was no great appeals for a penalty for Manchester United, and I think the referee is quite right actually to give a goal kick to Palace. So Roy Hodgson's plan is working. He's had a very, look at the away wins that Palace have had since May 2015. They've had 8. They've had 8 victories, and that's more than what Manchester United and Liverpool have had. And Manchester City are the leaders, of course, with 10. That is an interesting statistic. 8 times they've won at Big 6 teams, Crystal Palace. So they're, you know, maybe I was a little bit, shall we say, hasty backing them to go down. I've got to stick by the prediction, but at the moment they're proving me wrong this far. If they win today, they go to 6 points, they go joint top of the table. I mean, how good will that be for Crystal Palace fans? It'll be music to their ears. Yellow card to one of the United players. I think it's Tim Forsu-Mensah who's been penalised. No, it's not. Yes, it is. I think it is Forsu-Mensah. It wasn't Pogba. Foul there on Mitchell. And Timothy Forsu-Mensah now is the second player from any of the two sides in the book. And Manchester United have a free kick to defend, and Palace have looked very good on the counter attack from set pieces. They've looked the business, and here's Townsend with his free kick then for Crystal Palace from the left hand side, the far side. In it goes by Townsend, but it's well defended this time by Bruno Hernandez, and in fact it's attempted clearance. It's a Palace player. Now Palace have possession. Townsend wins it. He's had a good match today, Andros Townsend. He's really performed magnificently well. He's got the goal that separates the two teams here thus far. This is Shaw now for Manchester United. Still 1-0 to Crystal Palace. That 7th minute goal is winning the day for the Eagles at the moment. Nowhere near a 7-goal thrillers that we may have that was seen already today. Remember, it finished 5-2 to Everton over West Brom at Goodison Park, when a game that had everything in it, and also we had that 4-3 classic at Ellen Road between Leeds and Fulham. Leeds winning it 4-3. Here at Old Trafford, Manchester United 0, Crystal Palace 1. This is Harry Maguire now for Manchester United, going forward deep inside Palace territory towards the edge of the penalty area. Fosu Mensah on the right hand side gets the cross in there towards Greenwood, who heads it wide at the far post. What an opportunity that was for Mason Greenwood. Good cross by Fosu Mensah, and just for once there the Palace marking was non-existent, because Mason Greenwood came in here virtually unmarked and possibly should have equalised. He had the whole goal to aim at, and his attempted header was shall we say miscued, and Palace get off with one there. We've got the JB Man of the Match award as well to hopefully bring you. Name of the player, hashtag it with the hashtag JBMLTM. I'll put it in the comments below, and that will count as a vote for Man of the Match. It's the player that gets the most votes will win, and we'll do that in about 5 seconds from now. So you've got half an hour to get your thinking caps on, and the voting for Man of the Match has started in earnest. So remember now, the JB Man of the Match is in operation, so name of your player please, and then send it to me on the comment section. But it's also important that you hashtag it JBMLTM. I'm sure Russell set the standards for you like he always does. Every single week we do all these. You've got half an hour to think about your man in the match. The voting will stop at 90 minutes. But we will remind you that you can vote for our Supplementary Man in the Match award. And here's a chance for Palace, but De Gea quickly out of his goal, and he gets Maguire on his way now for Manchester United. Here is Mason Greenwood, who's just missed a glorious chance to equalise with a header from less than 6 yards. Shaw now has it now into Bruno Fernandes, back towards Shaw again. Still United looking to pick away through this Crystal Palace defence, and Shaw again, or rather McTominay, into Pogba. Fosu Mensah is available on the right hand side. Here he is now, Fosu Mensah pulled back across, can't find Greenwood. Rashford has it to Greenwood, Greenwood to Pogba. United knocking on the door for this equalising goal. Fernandes with the cross in from the right hand side, and it's well defended by Kouyaté for Crystal Palace. A tremendous bit of defending by him. Maguire wins it on halfway, gets it out to Fosu Mensah. Still 1-0 to Crystal Palace. 61 minutes gone. Remember the man in the match vote. Name of your player and hashtag JBMLTM please. The one with the most votes will win our supplementary award. Here's a chance for Manchester United. Oh, it's been pulled back from the right hand side, but it's behind the likes of Martial and Rashford and all them people. And now there's a chance here for Palace to break, and this will frustrate Manchester United a little bit more. What a good run this is. Now then, Townsend, he's got only one in the penalty area, and there's a man on the edge of the area. The shot comes in. I think it might have been Ayew. Well, he's fouled his man anyway. In fact, it was Jeff Shupp, sorry, who's fouled his man. It's a free kick to Manchester United. A little bit careless as there for Crystal Palace, but they were outnumbered defenders. There was about 5-2 there initially as the ball was played to Townsend, and Palace just struggled to get a lot of men forward there. Here's Shaw now for Manchester United. They will keep relenting here. Shaw now going forward. He's trying to do it on his own. Here's Pogba now, and he's lost it. And that's not what you want to be doing. And here go Crystal Palace again. Oh, what a tackle that is from Fernandes. That was brilliant midfield play. Swashbuckling, just like the older days with Brian Robson. But here come Palace again, looking to win for a second successive year at Old Trafford. They did it August last year. And what a turn up for the books that was. But Manchester United, let's not forget, are very traditional slow starters to a league season. They usually get good as it goes into the second half of the season. They certainly did that in Alex Ferguson's day. A lot of United fans with short memories would do well to remember that. That's a foul, that, by Maguire. And surely he's got to go in the referee's notebook. Indeed he is. Martin Atkinson on cue with the yellow card. So that's the third man in the book. It's Will Sahar who was tagged. And on the right hand side, and Palace have got a free kick which they'll be quite happy about right now. So the England centre back and Manchester United captain in the book, Donny van den Beek, who's going to come on now for Manchester United. He will become now the 13th player from Holland to play for Manchester United. Ruud van Nistelrooy was one of the first. We've had plenty of players that have put on the red shirt of United. Not all of them have been success stories. Memphis Depay wasn't exactly a success story, but he's hit it big elsewhere since. But at the moment it's Crystal Palace with Andros Townsend on the right hand side. That was a little bit of a poor ball straight to McTominay. United just need to get themselves going a little bit now. 64.5 minutes gone. Still 1-0 to Crystal Palace. They've led since the 7th minute. Here's Rashford into the penalty area from the right hand side. It's well blocked away. In fact, it was Mason Greenwood who had possession. McTominay now. They're looking for a way through. Pogba, £89 million he cost Manchester United. Well, he certainly hasn't shone for that money today. He hasn't. He's had an average sort of game. Ball played in there. Chance here for Martial, but his first touch was poor and it allowed Chiati just to get in there and hook it out for a throw-in on the far side to United, almost in level with the edge of the 18-yard box of Crystal Palace. Here's Bruno Fernandes from the quickly taken throw-in. Here's Maguire into Pogba. Pogba now to Fernandes. Now Greenwood has it, or rather Fosu Mensah I should say. United now playing nice passes, nice neat passes, but it's not doing any good at the moment. Russ says United have been poor. I'd actually concur with that. They've looked very dodgy defensively, and they haven't looked good enough in the final third. And if that ball's played right, Palace could be in here. They still might. They might have to be aware of the offside, and I think they are onside. And a chance here for 2, and it is 2-0. The ball's been hooked into the back of the net by Will Sahar, but the goal will not stand. Well, if he is offside from the first instance, surely. Well, is he offside? Yeah, he is actually by a couple of yards. But why doesn't the linesman put his flag up then? I just find that bewildering. Why FIFA have to change that offside law again is a disgrace. But there you go. So Paul Pogba, very disappointing now. And first look at in the Premier League for Donny van der Beek. £39 million he cost from Ajax of Amsterdam. Don't forget, name of your player and hashtag it for man in the match, JBMLTM, sorry. And you hashtag that and you put that in there. So don't forget that. And tomorrow night we'll be at the King Power for Burnley's first match of the season against the Leicester City side who are ruthless. Ruthless against West Bromwich Albion, you may have heard last week on JB Sports. This is short from United. We'll come back to Russ's verdict in a second. I hope you're thinking of a man of my match, Russ, because we're getting into that time of the game. And here is Fosu Mensah for Manchester United. Ball whips in there and it deflects high and loops and it goes for United corner. Russ says the new rule says you have to wait now until the ball hits the net. Well, what a silly rule that is, Russ. I don't understand that rule at all. If he's offside, stick the flag up. It must be confusing for everybody, defenders and strikers alike. Why did they have to wait so late? Anyway, corner to United. Oh, and he's hit over the top from 6 yards. I think it was Lindelof who got the final touch at the back post from 6 yards. It goes into the sparsely populated Stretford end, and a goal kick to Crystal Palace. And Van den Beek, McTominay in fact got the first header in, and he tried to volley it in there with the side foot Lindelof, but followed it 20 wells back into the Stretford end and a goal kick it is to Crystal Palace with 68 minutes gone. Man of the match, name of the player, hashtag it JBMLTM, and put it in the comment section. You have to hashtag it with JBMLTM for the actual vote to count. You'll be hearing from Russ during the season, you'll be hearing from Trevor throughout the season, you'll be hearing from Chris Whiteman throughout the season. Here comes Crystal Palace, they might get a second one here, on the shot deflected, and it was Jordan Ayew with the shot, got a deflection, and it almost caught De Gea out there, and Palace, who have worked very deadly on the counter-attack, just haven't been able to finish United off. And they're still alive here with Rashford, who shoots right-footed from about 25-30 yards out, left-hand side, wide of the target. And, well, it's just summing up Manchester United's day in a nutshell now. Now they are going to check a handball here by Lindelof for VAR. Now, remember that chance a minute ago when Ayew got through? There was a slight deflection. Now, I didn't think anything of it at the time because I thought he got his body in the way. They are checking at Stockley Park. John Moss is checking a potential handball, and if that's hit the arm, well, we want to get Russ's view on this. Russ, we need to get your view on this, Mr. VAR man. The only question I would ask is it close? I mean, could he have moved? Is there a reaction time that Lindelof could have moved his arm out the way? It definitely hits his hand. Now, what's the referee going to give here? Now, what's he doing here? This looks ominous. He's running towards the other end of the ground. I wonder if he's going to give a penalty here. No, I don't think he's. No, he's going to consult. No, what he's going to do? He's going to consult the. Well, this is a turn up for the book. He's actually going to consult the screen. We've only seen one referee in any competition use the screen for VAR before. That was Michael Over in a cup tie, ironically, at Crystal Palace in the third round. Now, did Lindelof have enough reaction time to get his hand out the way? That does look pretty close to me. Also, was it ball to hand? Again, it's a grey area. I'd like to get you guys in the comment section. Let's have your verdict. I think he's going to give a penalty to Crystal Palace. He has. It's a handball, and Crystal Palace have been awarded a penalty. And will there be a card for Lindelof? Because obviously it's a deliberate handball if it has been given. Let's look at the incident again. I'd like to get Russ and a few of you guys' views on this. This looks a 50-50 decision to me. I think he might have had just about enough reaction time to get his hand out of the way. Oh, it's a tough one, I think. But Palace have got the decision. Lindelof doesn't like it, but the referee has seen the replay and Solskjaer hangs his head. But the penalty still to be taken. And Manchester United could be winning an ace of going 2-0 down in the final 20 minutes. And we've had 71 minutes to spar. And the man who's going to take it, as Lindelof looks on in horror, is Jordan Ayew. It'll be right-footed. David De Gea. Can he save Manchester United here? Can Palace give themselves a breathing space? It's a 3 or 4 yard run-up. Referee checking for encroaching, because if they encroach, it will be a retake of penalties. And, oh, it's a temporal penalty, right-footed from Jordan Ayew. He made it so easy for De Gea to read it. He dived away to his right as he looked at it, De Gea. This was a... Oh, that is one of the most awful penalties I think I've ever seen for quite a long time. Didn't look at all confident as he stepped forward. And Crystal Palace have spurned and blown a golden opportunity to go 2 goals ahead. Should have just blasted it. Why didn't he? I'll never understand these players. Now then, there's another VAR being called for here. I just wonder if he's going to give another penalty. I just wonder if he's giving another penalty here. It's all a bit of a mystery here. David De Gea's been called over here. I wonder if he's moved off the goal line. Ah! Interesting. He's moved off the line. That's what's happened. John Moss at Stockley Park may have been on the ball here. Remember, he has to have both feet on the line as the ball is struck, and that's why Crystal Palace have got themselves, I think, a second penalty kick. Russ is completely right. And now, I'd like to get your views on handball as well on the first one. But now it's going to be, they're going to have a second go at this, Crystal Palace. And Solskjaer, I can't believe it. I think he's going to go and remonstrate him and Mike Phelan to the fourth official here, Robert Jones. But now Will Sahar has taken penalty duties away from Jordan Ayew. Might just be the best thing that could happen here. So for 2-0 then, Palace have a second chance. Will Sahar, longer run up, right footed. Now he's slanted into the back of the net. And Crystal Palace do have a 2-goal lead. And the referee and the officials at Stockley Park on both occasions, I think, got both decisions absolutely 100% correct. Well done, Martin Atkinson, and well done, John Moss. It's a goal. It's 2-0. Be interesting to see whether De Gea moved a foot off the line. Well, that's debatable whether he moved early or not, but what's not in doubt is Will Sahar's clinicalness from the penalty spot. Solskjaer having words with the fourth official, but I have to say, with all due respect, United have only themselves to blame. He clearly moved 1 foot off the line before the kick was taken and under the new guidelines, and David De Gea, as an experienced keeper, should know this better than anybody else. He should know the rules, and he can sarcastically applaud all he wants, but the decisions was both right. So we're going to see Eze, the new signing from QPR. He's had a good game, Jeffrey Schlupp, by the way. 2-0 then to Crystal Palace. And I think Ross is right. I think VAR 100% correct on the first penalty and 100% right on the retake. So Crystal Palace are on course for 2 wins out of 2. They've got a quarter of an hour to hold United out and take an amazing 2-0 victory away back to London. Manchester United, without a match for 34 days, with a quick turnaround of pre-season, are on the end of a huge call here, but I think it was correct. 2 big decisions from VAR and Martin Atkinson have put Palace right well and truly in the box seat, and quite deserved. And you have to say, United have been poor. They have been poor. I've been disappointed with them tonight. I expected much better from Solskjaer's men. 14 unbeaten going into this one as the cross comes in, the free kick comes in, and Keita just about got enough purchase on the punch, and it's now knocked away. Now Eze, the new £23 million signing from QPR. I think that's a very astute signing from Roy Hodgson. Something that Burnley should have tried to sign, I think. And we'll talk more about Burnley's pathetic transfer policy in tomorrow's match at the King Power Stadium, because we're going to have a quarter-hour build-up before the match takes place, and we're going to focus on Burnley's dreadful transfer window thus far. Only the one player in, that was Will Norris, the third choice backup from Wolves. There's all sorts of talk about an American takeover bid and 2 American consortiums looking to buy the club. Well, how true or false that is, we will discuss before tomorrow's match at the King Power. You'll be able to hear that live with us on JB Sports. We might start the match, actually, the programme about half an hour before, and do a little bit of a build-up show, because it is Burnley's first match of the season, and we might as well give it a little bit of a build-up. Burnley did have a match in the midweek in the Carabao Cup competition. They beat Sheffield United on penalties after a 1-1 draw, but that's tomorrow. Tonight it's all about Crystal Palace and their willingness now on the counter-attack. Ayew's going forward here. Sahar is there too. Maguire having to hold him off, and he just did enough. Sahar wants a penalty. I don't think he's going to get it. I think he was bustling Maguire, and as opposed to the other way round. Well, we've got an early bidding for man in the match. Russ Vernon setting the standard for everybody else to follow. JBMLTM the hashtag, and Will Sahar is the first vote. Now, do you think Sahar should win that man in the match award, guys? Do you agree with Russ, or do you disagree entirely with him and you think someone else should win the award? Well, you've got to vote now. You've got an opportunity. JBMLTM, name of your player. That's how you do it. Russ has set the standard for you guys to do it, and it's all up to you now. Right, 78 minutes gone, 12 to play. Palace are well and truly in the box seat. They are 2 goals ahead at Old Trafford. And it's been an amazing day in the Premier League for all sorts of reasons. We've had 2 7-goal thrillers. We've got a shock on here at Old Trafford. This is the league that really does keep on giving. VAR's been spot on, and I have to say the officials have had really good matches tonight. And I don't care what Solskjaer and De Gea think, but the decisions, both penalty decisions, were 100% spot on. Good tackle that by McTominay, trying to get Manchester United forward. And here goes Luke Shaw now to Marcus Rashford. Here's Van der Beek. Hasn't been very much effective thus far. If you've joined us late, where have you been? 2-0 to Crystal Palace. You've missed a right shocker here. We're going to see another substitution here. Michy Batshuayi is going to come on. They've just signed him again on loan from Chelsea for another season. As the throw-in is given to Manchester United, MacArthur has done a really sterling job in that middle part of the field. He's done very, very well. Manchester United are lingering towards a defeat here. And there'll be no 100% record by them at the start of the season. And there'll be a lot of Manchester United fans watching in a pub or listening maybe to this commentary that will be very, very, very angry with things that happen at the moment. It'll be a lot of pressure on Ed Woodward's shoulders as well. He's the vice chairman of the club. As the ball's lifted in there from United, a chance inside, a chance at a goal! Brilliantly taken, and one back for Manchester United. It's Van der Beek on debut with a side-footed shot into the left-hand corner of the net, and maybe it isn't all over yet. Maybe it isn't all over yet. Manchester United are back in business. Van der Beek, £39 million worth of player, has shown his worth already and has probably paid a great deal of the cheque. A mistake in the Palace defence, and Van der Beek unmarked after a little bit of miscommunication and misclearance from the Crystal Palace defence. And what a cool finish beyond Vincent Guaita's dive and into the left-hand corner of the net. Manchester United are right back in this. And Newcastle shall be delighted with this signing. Great player he is. And 2-1. It's not all over yet. It's not over yet. We'd like to know your new man of the match. I'm sure Newcastle will choose a Manchester United player before Mensa comes on. Also, Jordan Ayew, who I was going to say would be relieved because his penalty was saved. It wasn't. It was a very poor penalty, really. Anyway, back we go again with the restart. 2-1 now to Palace, as it was a year ago. Eze, the new man from QPR, comes forward again for Palace. Van den Beek is there, but Eze keeps the ball. He really impressed in the Championship last season. Michy Batshuayi has replaced Jordan Ayew, incidentally. Still 2-1 to Crystal Palace. There's a offside there and a free kick. We're coming towards squeaky bum time now. Igalo is now on, the Argentinian, for Mensa. As Manchester United now, with a little bit of wind in their sails, with that goal back, I've got about 8 minutes to save themselves a point. Van der Beek has it in the centre of the field, midway inside the Palace half. Sahari's got a second vote for man of the match. Newcastle, probably through gritted teeth. Yes, you read my intentions quite clearly there. Is the man of the match. So 2 man of the match votes for Will Sahari. He's actually had a very good game, in fairness. I hope you're going to be joining us tomorrow, Newcastle, for Leicester against Burnley. We're going to be on the air actually around about 6:35 for a 7 o'clock start. We're going to talk about Burnley's awful transfer window and where they go from here. They've lost to Johanberg Gudmundsson, and we'll talk about that in great detail before the live match against Leicester City. 7 o'clock, the kick-off on the JB Sports channel. And then after that, we've got the cricket on Travers Sports as well. We'll tell you more about that tomorrow evening as well. Right, anyway, back to tonight, and it's still 2-1. 8 minutes to go. United in possession inside the Palace half, and it's Shaw now in towards Igalo. Can't take it out from under his feet. And also, it's now all hands on deck now for Crystal Palace as they look to protect the lead that they've got. Can Manchester United get an equaliser? It's not beyond the realms of possibility. I wonder if Ferguson's had a word in the refs here at half time. Come on, bring back Fergie time. Anyway, here come Manchester United. Not that I would encourage anything. The officials have done a good job. Oh, might break to shore. Left hand side of the penalty area. Cross comes in. It's turned away by Townsend. And Manchester United laying siege to the Palace goal. 83.5 minutes gone. 83.5 minutes gone. There's a Palace player gone down. And it's Mr. Zaha. Oh, he's only just brushed his face. Come on, Wilfred, get up. I think in layman's terms I would call that Will Zaha our would-be man of the match. Possible gamesmanship. Anyway, Manchester United back in possession. They took the throw in and now have worked it to the right hand side, but Palace have brought everybody back now. Van den Beek going in there, going in hard but fair, but it's Palace who have the ball on the far side, the left hand side with Eze, and Eze has possession, still has it towards the far side. Excuse me. And here come Palace into the penalty area. Chance here for free, and it's there. It's Wilfried Zaha. And Crystal Palace have surely put the game beyond any doubt at all. Shot from the edge of the penalty area to the left of the D. It seemed to go through Derry and into the back of the net. And if that is the case, then that has to go down as a goalkeeping catastrophe. Maybe it's time for De Gea to hand over the gloves to Dean Henderson, perhaps. It's Manchester United 1, Crystal Palace 3. It's Wilfried Zaha. Lindelof losing out very easily on the challenge. There's a right-footed shot. De Gea wrong-footed. But it seemed from the first angle I saw it from the naked eye, it seemed to go right through him. Not good goalkeeping. Not good great defending by Lindelof. And maybe Ed Woodward needs to look at... and probably a new defender maybe. Lindelof doesn't look good enough at that level. Wilfried Zaha's come back to his old club and has made them pay with 2 goals. 5 minutes less, 4.5 minutes to go. 3-1 to Crystal Palace. And here's Anthony Martial now for what looks like a well-beaten Manchester United side. So we've seen 2 sevens. We've had 14 goals before today. Take another 14. We've had 18 goals from 3 matches in the Premier League today, and 4 of them have come live on the JB Sports channel here at Old Trafford tonight. And there's still Arsenal against West Ham to come later on. You'll be able to watch that on television as Alex Ferguson looks on in horror with a face mask on. I wouldn't like to know what is under his face mask at the moment. I'm sure it's a face of thunder. 4 minutes to go. Manchester United 1, Crystal Palace 3. An early shock at Old Trafford this season in the Premier League. Remember, they won 2-1 last year, Crystal Palace. They're going to repeat the dose this time. They may go one better. This is Shaw. Cuts in from the left hand side. He's in field. Chips it out there to Martial, who's been poor really for Manchester United. Van den Beek, though, if there's any positives to come out of this for Manchester United at the end of it all, that Van den Beek has certainly made a real impact coming off the bench. He's certainly been one of the brightest sparks, or a rare bright spark for Manchester United here this evening. But it's Crystal Palace who are 3-1 up. Luka Milivojevic is going to come on to replace James McCarthy, who's had a fine game. There's less than 3 minutes to go. Wilfried Zaha with 2 votes is leading the JB man of the match, and if it stays that way, I think he'll pick up the reward anyway. And I think he'll be a shoo-in for for the television award for man of the match as well. Anyway, here comes the corner into the penalty area. Eze can get it under control here for Palace, and he can set another attack here for Wilf Zaha with a touch back. Oh dear me, that almost got Crystal Palace on their way again. They are looking so sharp on the counter attack now, Palace. They've looked really good. Zaha has been the ultimate difference, and Manchester United now wish that they got him at this stage of his career and not earlier on, as United will go forward, and a header forward by Marcus Rashford is leads to no trouble there for Palace. We're now into the final 2 minutes, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer cuts a forlorn finger on the bench. I wonder what he'll have to say to his troops after the match. Just hasn't been good enough from certain individuals today. I think David De Gea, I think certainly needs dropping in, if I'm being totally honest, in goal. I think Dean Henderson should be the #1 at Old Trafford now. I think he's earned his spurs at Sheffield United. As we look at Ed Woodward, very stern-faced Ed Woodward, and most of the anger of the fans who go to Old Trafford normally for games, their frustrations are vented at him. Mind you, they led to death threats after a defeat against Burnley last season. Here's Eze, just slows it up a bit. McTominay and Fernandes is there, but he still gets it through here. Wouldn't it be an irony if Palace were to win by 4 now? And they're quite capable of doing it. The way they played on the counter-attack, you wouldn't put it past him. Coati almost showed too much of it, but he might break here kindly for Zaha. He tries to get a hat-trick and almost succeeded in doing so. In fact, it was Batshuayi, with the shot. Very hard to tell what the numbers are. The goddamn awful shirts there from Crystal Palace, but well, in those awful shirts, they've not put in an awful display. Everyone from the old 1-11 has put in a real shift for Palace tonight, and I think Roy Hodgson will be very proud of his team this evening. He's 73 years old, one of the oldest ever managers in Premier League history, and yet he's masterminded a magnificent victory at Old Trafford. And here's Eze now. He's 1-on-1 with Maguire. If he gets past him, who knows what might happen. He's into the penalty area. Oh, he just should have gone right past him from the word goal there. Trying to take it far too far. Maguire, in fairness, wasn't going to be tempted to make going rashly. Stayed on his feet. Made a nice challenge. 90 minutes are up, and the end of the man of the match vote. 6 added minutes at the end of the game, incidentally, for the 2 VAR penalties and substitutes and whatever else has been happening. But I can confirm that the man of the match award goes to Wilf Zaha. The JB man of the match is Wilfried Zaha at Crystal Palace. Well done to him, and a great performance in this part. So the JB man of the match is now over, and the rightful winner with 2 votes, Wilfried Zaha. And I'm sure he doesn't look too, for a man who's 3-1 up there, he looks very stern-faced as Roy Hodgson. I think he needs to smile a little bit there, the Crystal Palace boss. No matter, his team are 3-1 up. They've got a free kick at 5 yards from halfway. They can hoist this towards one of the corners and try and just waste as bit of time as it's legally possible within the rules, and see about what's going to be a famous victory. Newcastle will be devastated with this result, but United just haven't been at the races, and Palace have been so important on the break. They've just absolutely dominated, and maybe questions will be asked again of David De Gea in the United goals. Here's Mason Greenwood, who missed a glorious chance at 1-0 to equalise when he headed wide of the target when well positioned inside the 6-yard area. Should have made it 1-1. It's Van der Beek for Manchester United. Still, they're going to plug away. We've had 2 minutes of the 6, and I should also stress it's a minimum of. Just remember, folks, it only takes a second to score a goal. Look like handball there. Van der Beek's in there on the edge of the area. Still Van der Beek again. United playing on. And here's Fernandes. Hasn't looked potent. He has been a revelation since coming to Old Trafford, Bruno Fernandes, but not far from that today, I'm afraid. And Crystal Palace here. Well, the supporters who they've had to leave behind down in London, South East London, will be cock-a-hoop in the boys in the bars and clubs of Croydon tonight, because they'll be singing from the rooftops. What a performance, and 6 points out of a possible 6. And I've tipped these to be relegation fodder at the start. I tipped them to be in the bottom 3. Maybe my prediction is a bit misplaced, I don't know. It's making my prediction a mockery, but it's too early in the season to say whether I'm going to be right with Palace or whether I'm going to be wrong. I would have said Zaha too. He's looked an absolute threat. from a neutral point of view, he's always good to commentate on. Wilfried Zaha, he's a pacey player, he's exciting. The only problem with I just think he needs to just cut out the theatrics in his game. If he cuts them out, I think he's world class on his day. We've had 3 of the 6 gone of stoppage time, and still 3-1 to Crystal Palace. A tremendous performance from them. It's been the perfect away performance, and you've got to give every conceivable credit to Roy Hodgson and his team. They planned a perfect away performance, and they've executed the plans perfectly. And I don't think anyone can argue with this scoreline. They've been devastating on the break, and I've got to give a big special mention to referee Martin Atkinson. I think he's refereed the game brilliantly. He's refereed it sensibly. And also, this is a very rare bit of praise for John Moss, the VAR referee, a man that I've given quite a lot of stick to over the years, as Mitchell is penalised. That's a 3-kick to United. 2 minutes of the 6 left, still 3-1 Palace. They worked together on the 2 penalties that were awarded. The first one, that was for handball, definite penalty, and it was good to see Martin Atkinson going over to the actual screen down below us to check it for himself, and I think that was a very sensible thing for him to do. That was VAR and the referee working together, and this is where VAR can work, and that's been perfectly executed tonight. And then there was the second penalty where John Moss at Stock Report quite rightly spotted that De Gea had moved a foot off the line before Ayer's very feeble excuse of a penalty, it must be said. He might have saved it if he stayed on the line, quite honestly. But anyway, it was spotted by John Moss, and it was given as a chance here for Martial, but it's turned away for a corner kick to Manchester United. We've got about a minute of the 6 to go, and it's going to be, barring miracles now, a Crystal Palace victory, and it's going to be the first major shock of the Premier League season so far. Can United save a little bit of face and score a second goal? Not from the corner they were. It was a very tame corner. Here goes Wilfried Zaha. Sure does well though. Good strength. Does very, very well. But it's Palace's day here. United still going forward. They won't give in. 30 seconds plus of stoppage time to go. There's Rashford. Rashford getting out to the far side. Can they make it 3-2 here? United has still got a little chance here to score another one. And the ball gets it played in. It might break to Greenwood on the left-hand channel. The left-hand byline, still Greenwood, gets the cross in, headed behind, it will be a corner. Off McCarthy, it will be a corner. McCarthy rather, not McCarthy. 2 former Wigan lads performing miracles in that Palace midfield tonight. Bit of space here now, for a shot maybe. The shot deflected, it was Fernandes with the shot. We played the 6 minutes, and the final whistle has sounded. And well, if there were fans at Old Trafford tonight, they would have booed the house down, because that was a very poor display from Manchester United. But as much as we would like to criticise them, let's give a lot of praise to Crystal Palace and the way they played the game tactically. They were good on the break, they looked sharp on attack. They could have had more than the 3 goals conceivably. Wilfried Zaha scored 2, 1 from the penalty spot, and the 3rd goal as well. Manchester United, if there's any positives to take from it, it's the debut of Van den Beek. He scored a goal as well, and they trailed at the break to Andros Townsend, and they may want to look back at that miss at 1-0 maybe for Mason Greenwood. If he nots that in, it's a completely different ball game. But what a performance. Roy Hodgson's men joint top of the table, and I had them down as favourites to go into the bottom 3. I had them down to finish 18th this season in my predictions at the start. Maybe my lack of confidence in them has been misplaced. Maybe they're proving me wrong. They certainly proved me wrong today. Great performance, and I've got to give a lot of special mention to Martin Atkinson and John Moss. Brilliant teamwork with VAR and the referee as well. And we saw the best of VAR there, working together as a team, them and a referee. And well, they may rue decisions Manchester United, but they were correct decisions that they've lost by, and not awful decisions. Because quite clearly on the first penalty, it was a handball. Quite clearly De Gea had moved a foot off the line on the first penalty, which meant that it had to be retaken. and as a consequence, it led to Zaha sticking it in the back of the net, and then surely it was De Gea was at fault for the third one as well. But take nothing away from Crystal Palace, they've been amazing. Zaha got the Man of the Match award, quite rightly so. I thought his performance was excellent, and I thought he was the goods here tonight. But there'll be a lot of Manchester United fans on forums tonight who will be going absolutely apes towards Ed Woodward and possibly Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I saw Manchester United's former manager Alex Ferguson going looking stern-faced, motionless, sat on that director's box. It's been a horrible night for Manchester United. First game back in 34 days, and I just rue if they'd have played last week against Burnley, we might have won that one, funnily enough, but it wasn't to be. But anyway, speaking of Burnley, they're our next featured match. They're away at Leicester City in their first match tomorrow evening, and we'll be on the air at an earlier time tomorrow night, folks. We're going to be on the air at 6:30, because what I want to do before the kick-off at 7 o'clock is talk to you guys and get your opinions on Burnley's transfer policy this summer. Has it been good enough? We've just had the one signing, that's Will Norris in goal. Not is he going to get much games with time, because Nick Pope is still the requisite number one at Burnley, but there's obviously still tensions between Sean Dyche and the board, and I'd like to get you guys' views on that in the comments section tomorrow evening. So just to remind you folks, 6:30 we're going to be live from the King Power Stadium. We're going to be talking about Burnley's miserable transfer window thus far, and then we'll be bringing you full 90-minute commentary on Leicester City against Burnley. Of course, we'll concentrate a little bit on Leicester City as well, because we saw them last week on JB Sports win quite handsomely at newly promoted West Brom in the game that we did. And we'll be on, as I say, about 6:30 to bring you the build-up and to bring you live commentary of the game. And then after that, we will have chin over to Trevor Sports, where again you'll hear my dulcet tones along with Trevor's for Trevor Match Special. We've got an intriguing 2020 clash between England and Australia that we did the other day. Me and Trevor recorded together as a duo. Be sure to join me and Trevor at 9 o'clock after the Leicester City Burnley game over on his YouTube channel, and believe you and me, it's an hour and a half's worth of cricketing drama. I can promise you that. That's all I'm going to say on that. But anyway, that's what you're going to be getting on YouTube tomorrow on both JB and Trevor Sports YouTube channels. I hope you very much enjoyed tonight's game. Probably not so New Caton, being a Manchester United fan, but it's only the opening game of the season, New Caton, so don't get too depressed about it. But a very good performance from Crystal Palace, and Roy Hodgson, very, very astute tactically, looked very, very good, and Will Zaha was the real difference in the end. 2 VAR decisions turned the game. First of all, a penalty that was given for handball against Lindelof when Ayew got through. Then Ayew took the first penalty, which was saved illegally by David De Gea. VAR spotted that he moved a foot off the line before Ayew scuffed his penalty rather into his grasp. And then so a second penalty was given, quite rightly so, and Will Zaha took over the penalty duty and whacked it into the back of the net. At that point, Palace were leading by 1-0 through with a 7th minute goal from Andros Townsend, and then United pull one back through Van den Beek, and then Zaha finished the scoring off at the end. He gets our man of the match vote as well. So a great performance then from Crystal Palace. 6 points out of 6 for a team I said we're going to finish 18th at the end of the season. They might still finish 8th, but my goodness, they're having a purple patch at the start of the season, aren't they? And looking very, very good indeed. Right, anyway, thank you very much for all tuning in. Thank you to New Caton, thanks to Russ, thanks to Sue, and thanks to everyone else who's tuned in this evening. The comments earlier were unacceptable. Well done to Russ for doing those. and thanks for him helping out on VAR duty tonight and reporting and some big news that Gareth Bale's gone to Tottenham and 1 or 2 other transfer news. We've absolutely enjoyed it. Clarence as well earlier, one of our newer regulars. So we've absolutely enjoyed all your company tonight. Be sure to join us all again around about 6:30 tomorrow evening. That's 6:30, half an hour before kick-off, before Burnley go into action in their first match. A very depleted squad as well. Send their depleted squad into battle against a very good Leicester City side who looked awesome last week against West Bromwich Albion. I hope you've enjoyed the match tonight. I hope you've enjoyed the commentary. From me, JB, take care. Have a lovely Saturday night, and we'll see you at 6:30 tomorrow evening for Leicester City against Burnley. Hope to see you then. Take care. Good night.